The Checkpoints is presented by pharmaceutical company GM Pharma.
Manuela, welcome to the show, and thank you so much for taking our questions. Let us start with the purpose of your visit. Why are you in Tbilisi? Is it your first time, and what are some of the first impressions that you get from the city?
I've been to Tbilisi a few times already.
Oh, nice.
Quite a few times. Yeah, I love the city. I love coming back. So yeah, it's a very welcoming city. Yesterday was a particularly happy day, of course,
Exactly.
and very cheerful day. So I was really glad to be here. It was a good coincidence. I'm here for the signature of the contract for our first project in Tbilisi.
Yes, what type of project will that be, and what defined the choice of Tbilisi and the project?
As I said, I've been a few times to Georgia, and I was very keen for us to have our first project here. I like Georgia a lot, and I love the architecture of Tbilisi. And I think we have, as a company, we have quite always had a very strong affiliation with the modernist architecture. And in that sense, Tbilisi has a wealth of modernist architecture, very special one, and very unique brutalist architecture, kind of Art Deco. And we think, or I think, and we think as a company that our work would fit very nicely within the context of Tbilisi. And a year ago, I had the first meeting with CITYZEN, and we started discussing the possibility of working together. And of course, when we start talking to developers and private partners, we always try to find out whether they're going to be a good match for us. And I think they will be. And I'm very confident they are, because they are a very young and dynamic company. And I sense that they have a very good understanding of what it means for a developer to invest in great architecture.
Is it hard to maintain the art piece of your work and then do business, of course?
No, we started off a few years ago mostly working for public projects. And at the very beginning, we were mostly designing museums, designing concert halls, and so on. And at some point, our work evolved into working more with private partners or private developers. And we found that if we find the right match, we are able to deliver the same level of quality and the same sort of design and artistic content within the context also of a project which is potentially for sales or anyway that needs to generate revenue. And the reason for this is that we know that there's appetite and interest from the population in great architecture. And in a way, it's an investment that for the private partner definitely pays back because of sort of love for great architecture that there is.
How would you define Zaha Hadid Architects standard? What type of standards are we talking about?
She always set the highest standard in absolutely everything. So whether it's our work as a company, she was very, very demanding with her staff, choosing her staff, and with the sort of the level of performance of our staff, and of course that translated into the quality of our project. So we are not the kind of company that only designs eye-catching buildings, of course. We don't call them eye-catching. We really want to deliver icons, and by delivering icons, I mean following up on the project from A to Z. So from the beginning, designing, working with local partners, whether it's the client and local architects, to deliver the projects to the highest standard.
What do you think will make this project with CITYZEN stand out in Tbilisi?
I think it will stand out because I understand, looking at Tbilisi, as I said previously, I understand that there is Tbilisi is accustomed to great architecture. There's plenty of great architecture, whether it's the historic architecture of the old town, which is amazing, well preserved. There's a lot of it. It survived a lot of hardship, which is unique. You know, that means that the population really loves its city and the architecture. And there is a history of great landmarks, you know, in the city. These are projects that everybody knows abroad, you know, and they do really define the city of Tbilisi. So everybody knows that Tbilisi is great at architecture. So we want to be the next step for Tbilisi, so the future of Tbilisi that really comes from its past. So we want to collect and, you know, be part of this heritage for great design that the city has.
So partly your ambition is to bring some kind of new standard to the city, right?
Yeah, we want to carry on with high standards, and we want to, yes, bring a new standard for the future of Tbilisi. And of course, you have great projects, but we want to be even better.
That's a great ambition. What it means personally for you to be carrying the legacy of Zaha Hadid and managing Zaha Hadid Architects?
Well, I worked with her for, I started working there quite young. Young. I started working there after my studies. So I did my master in London. After that, 3 days later, I started working with her. And from there on, I always worked within the company, working with her for 15 years until, unfortunately, she passed, but then and carry on with her legacy. So I knew her very well. She was very close to her, to us as architects working with her. And then it's kind of in my DNA, as in my colleagues' DNA. So for us, it wasn't, we knew her so much, and we evolved the company together with her for so many years that there was a natural transition to kind of carry on even after she left us.
What are your expectations of the workflow here in Tbilisi, and how do you see this? I mean, what will define the success of the project here in Tbilisi for you personally?
I think the success of the project will depend largely on how we blend it in the context, I think. So yes, it's about standing up, but it's also about providing great open spaces. So we're very keen on designing, open spaces that the green, that's 50% of the site is meant to be green. So a significant amount of the site is going to be nature. And we want to design our projects in such a way that it kind of like blends into this nature, and we want to make sure that the public space is well integrated and it's open, available for the students of the universities nearby, for everybody, for the general population. I think that would be part of the success for sure.
Thank you so much for taking your time and answering our questions. What will be your message? What do you want to be the main message of our conversation for our viewers today from you?
We want to become part of your landscape. So we want our project to be, we'll do as much as we can for the public to see how we develop our project. There will be soon some images already being released, and we want to constantly have a communication with the public so that eventually when the project is finished, it's really going to be loved by the people of Tbilisi.
Thank you so much, and wish you success, of course.
Thank you. Thanks.
The Checkpoints is presented by pharmaceutical company GM Pharma.